Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Factorio C-Blog. This is episode number 6. The last couple of episodes we spent expanding our infrastructure to make a steam engine setup, and off camera I expanded it a little bit more. This episode we're going to focus on research and getting some new tech. We ended last episode, I think I had 18 of these algae farms making the green algae, and now I got 24. I increased everything else as well, so I've got more electrolyzers, I think 27. Making the slag, being turned into crushed stone, being turned into mineralized water. And this chain going all the way down to produce the carbon, which is fueling our steam engines. And cyclically making the carbon dioxide for this stuff, and extra carbon and coal and all that kind of stuff. Off camera, I increased it, but I replaced all the smelting. So we're now smelting the 4 different materials, and I also set up a little bit of a main bus where we're making some quality of life things like just inserters. And also I automated the production of basic electronic boards. The only thing not on the bus, which I kind of need to add, which will be useful, is the basic circuit boards. Right now I'm just sort of carrying them over and depositing them in a few chests here and there. I set up the science, which we'll get to in just a second. Last episode I talked about the ratios of these machines. I got one of them totally wrong. Well, not wrong, just backwards. Wrong and backwards. I said that it would one of these ore sorting facilities running full speed would run 4 of these blast furnaces, and I had been looking at my spreadsheet backwards, or the numbers. I had them flipped, so it's actually the opposite. Not 1 to 4, it's 4 to 1, which is an incredible difference. So we will need 4 full sorters doing one type of ore. Or I guess this would be more of like a mineral, not an ore, because this is whatever, doesn't matter. We would need 4 of these to one of these blast furnaces, so we're not going to need as many blast furnaces or induction furnaces or casting machines, or at least we won't be able to power them for a while, because we're going to need to power a lot of these sorting machines, and I just don't have the power for it. You can see I've got everything unplugged, all this mineral stuff, all this smelting of the metals and crafting into useful things. Because my power system, it's not quite enough to sustainably run this. We can run it for a while, but then these belts start to run dry, and when that happens, we start to run a bit short on the carbon fueling the steam engines. As soon as that happens, the whole thing crashes because all of the inserters start operating slower, which means the whole thing slows down and it just dies. So what I've been doing is I've been running the science for a while, and then waiting for the belts to empty out more or less, and then unplugging it and waiting like a minute or two to let the belts fill back up. It's almost stable. We're almost 100% golden here. But hopefully we can fix that today by doing some science. Bam! I timed it that way. That's not a coincidence, in case you're curious. So, I just finished research of solar energy. We can now make solar panels, which will help our system stay stable so we can produce some energy during the day. Got a lot of things we could research. We can upgrade our machines, get new filtration units. We could get different crushers and sorting facilities. And now that I've automated the basic electronic boards, we can make a lot of this. I can't make bricks yet. We're not far from that. I believe we need to research washing to get the bricks, because we will need to get, I think, clay from these washing of we use the seafloor pump, and we get some the mud water from the floor of the ocean. There we go. Oil processing research. We've got oil refineries now, and we can process oil, I guess. I haven't really looked into this too much. The thing I'm going for is another few steps down the tree. Going for coal processing too, so we can make coke pellets, which should be a better fuel source. And then after that, I guess we'll go for steam engines and the boilers Mark II. See how that goes. Advanced chemistry would be next. Hey, there we go. Coal processing 2, just researched. So now we can make coke pellets out of our coke. This will be a better fuel source for us. I was just in the process of moving the brown algae over and putting the boards on the belts on the main bus here that we have developed. And kind of like a weird little trick I had to use, because for the solder we need the alginic acid. That's kind of the only thing I think we need it for right now. But other than that, we need these things, the basic circuit boards. And so I need to bring the boards down here where the copper is to turn them into boards. So we need the alginic and the boards on one belt, and I was fiddling with that. But we have the coke now, which is going to be great for the efficiency of our system. We've got currently all these liquefiers turning some of our coal into, well, a lot of our coal into carbon dioxide. A lot of it's going back here to make more green algae. But a decent amount of it is coming up here to the end of the chain to turn the coke into carbon. And that is that's a big inefficiency, which we have just eliminated, which is awesome. So now, instead of making carbon, we will be making... Let's grab some coke off of Mr. Belt. Thank you, Mr. Belt. Petrochemical refining? Yes. Okay, coke pellets. 1 second, takes 5 coke, turns it into 30 megajoules. 1 coke is 5 megajoules, so instead of 5 coke being 25, we turn it into 30. So we get a little bit better there. And also it has a high number per fuel value, which is going to be great with the way I'm daisy chaining these things. Currently we're using the carbon, which has, what does that have? That's only 6 megajoules. And you can see I haven't researched the, what's it called? The inserter carry capacity bonus. In fact, let's do that now. It's right here. No, near inserters, that's not it. Okay, inserter. A lot of things to upgrade. Inserter capacity bonus, that should be quick. Yeah, we're daisy chaining like this, and these fast inserters can barely keep up because it's got to fuel this guy, and it's got to fuel all of these at the same time. So the coke, or not the coke, but the coke pellet has a much higher number, so it'll have to daisy chain them less often because it's going to take longer to be spent. So I think I will need carbon again. But for now, I'm probably going to replace this with, or maybe at least most of it. We're going to replace most of it with the coke pellets. All right, so inserter capacity bonus is about to finish researching. I want to see how quickly we just run out of this carbon. As soon as it starts getting daisy chained, there it goes. Now these guys are carrying twice as much. We just doubled our throughput with our inserters. Yeah, look at the belt start to empty right away. Okay, that was funny. I just wanted to note that I've mostly finished with algae. I think I want to put one more crafting machine for the alginic acid. Over time, it'll probably back up, but for now, we'll do it this way. Let's see if I do it. Boop, boop, boop. So we can do it like this. I was doing it. Oh, you need to go into... You are. Okay, let's do it like this. And just change the stuffs. Lovely. Tell it to do that. There we go. Bob's your uncle, whatever. Oh, I don't want these connecting to that. I want to be able to still disconnect my power with one switch. Put a... Oh, I already have a light. Okay, that's going well. Let's see. Is this coming down? Good. They're getting stripped off. I'm stripping off the alginic acid, but actually, once we get to here, I don't want the alginic acid anymore. I don't want to go any farther. I only want the circuit boards, which haven't made it down this far yet. You have plenty of copper. The boards are here. Oh, right. That needs to be not copper. We need copper cable. Okay, so I'm going to move these belts over. I have some, the belt creator here. Got some space. Okay, you need to make copper cable, which is in the metallurgy casting department. There we go. Okay, now that should be crafting. But we want to strip out the alginic acid. Which means, or rather, we only want the circuit boards moving forward. Okay, that should work. Then we'll tell this guy to pick up whatever. He's already got a ton of alginic acid. Let's just make sure that works. Oh no, because it's coming from there. Okay, so we need to change these around a little bit. So this guy needs to come like that. And then we power them again, maybe like that. And then you need a normal inserter. This needs to be spaced out one more. Why are you not picking up this alginic acid? You need alginic acid. Oh, because this thing is full of solder. Now it's working. Okay, it was full of solder, so it wasn't trying to pick anything up. Now I'll put all the extra alginic acid I picked up there. This should be working now. I can daisy chain, or not daisy chain. Yeah, I guess daisy chain our belt and all the way down to the points where we need our circuit board, so I no longer need to fill that in. That part's automated. Oh, I still need carbon here. That's right. We need carbon to make basic electronic components, so I'm not going to shut down all the carbon. Only a little bit of it. All right, here we go. Let's convert over to the coke pellets. We're immediately going to see a huge change to our power situation because we're not having to make nearly as much carbon dioxide to liquefy the carbon or the coke into carbon. I still have one of these being made, and I moved it down here to its own belt because we need it for the solder. We will need it more for more things. I think in the advanced smelting, it will become important. But now we're going to be making these coke pellets, and we're going to have to swap out all of the carbon out of the line. Although, I guess in the fullness of time, it will just swap itself out because it'll get consumed. So maybe I don't need to care about that too much. Look at this. Already, we've got a stack of carbon just sitting there waiting to be used. And since we're stacking it up so much, it hasn't quite made its way down here to these other boilers, but we should be able to power up more of them once this catches up. Let's see, the power should... Yeah, the power, we're up to 26 megawatts. That's a new record. I've also been putting down solar panels up there, which should help during the daytime. Now we're getting 4 megawatts from the solar panels. That's just kind of like a buffer. More than anything. And now that we've started teching up, that should be hopefully less and less important. And nope, turns out that the coke pellets are not nearly as good as the carbon. The lines went dry and the power was about to crash, so I converted it back over. I thought that because we didn't need to make so much carbon dioxide out of our coal earlier in the line that would be better, but turns out no, it's not. And just finished electric energy distribution, so we got the medium poles and the big electric poles. That's quite handy, and I'm making steel. We'll start using those in certain situations. The small ones are still pretty cheap. Yeah, we'll probably use these. But I researched that so we could get to the steam electric engine, which is the other part of the upgrading of our power system. The coke pellets, it just wasn't working. They have a higher megajoule rating per item, which is nice for this daisy chaining stuff, but otherwise they weren't as good. So we were going from 5 megajoules to 6 with the coke pellets. Or with this going to carbon, we're going from 5 to, but we're getting 2 to 3. So we're going from 5 to 9, which is way better. And now the line is stable again. And what we're going to do now, we're going to start replacing our boilers. Maybe we'll start at the end of the line. We need to make some boilers Mark II. This is the first one I made. And we're going to pick them up because they require boiler Mark I as an ingredient. Okay, let's take a look. So the boilers, these guys have a higher efficiency. These ones, the boiler Mark Is, they have a 50% efficiency. So everything they burn up, you're losing half of that in the conversion from water to steam. So going from 50 to 60% is actually a pretty big deal. Let's see. Does it tell us the max temperature? Oh, yes, it is getting hotter. So these guys were only getting up to 165 C maximum. And these guys were they're already getting all the way up to 235 because the second steam engines require a higher temperature steam. So that'll be good. Okay, let's start picking these up and making them one at a time. Place you. Daisy chain in some fuel. Pick you up. Make another one. I could just make them all at once, but that'd be hugely inefficient because we want to get rid of these things anyway, so they're not just sitting around. Okay, daisy chain the fuel. Make one more. 10% more efficient. Whoopsie daisy. 10% more efficient. Do they have any other favorable characteristics? Energy consumption 5 point. They do consume. No, they consume the same. No, they consume more. Looks like about 50% more than the previous ones. Make one more. There we go. But now we're going to wait on the steam engines. We're going to have to make some new stuff. I'm not sure exactly if I even have the tech to make them yet. We need the ball bearings and let's actually look it up in the NEI. So the steam engine Mark II, it requires, I can make steel plates, I can make normal steam engines. We need steel bearings, steel gear wheels. This is, we have to make it maybe in an assembly machine. I have the steel processing tech. Got to make ball bearings, which are made with steel. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, let's back up a few steps. The other one was the gear wheel, which is just like an iron gear wheel, but made out of steel. Okay, no big deal. I can make all that stuff. I wonder, can I make it by hand? Oh, yeah, it's right here. In the Bob's Intermediate Products. So all the boilers have been replaced. Now we can replace the steam engines. And since these guys are consuming more power, 50% more, I'm going to turn off this column to the right until we see how this happens, how it works, how it does. Maybe we'll do it in groups of 5. So I can right-click instead of left-click. I've got 20 right there. And we're going to go from Steam Engine Mark 1 to Steam Engine Mark 2. Oh, I guess that'll take a little bit longer to craft because we're going to make all the ball bearings, the steel bearings, steel gear wheels, all that kind of stuff. There they go. Oh, okay, well, while that's happening, we may as well just unplug all this and then plug it back in. I think I probably have enough steel on me to do all this all at once. But these guys aren't really doing anything when they're not connected to Steam, so we may as well just pick them all up while we wait for that. And let's go ahead and say, let's pick them all up now. Okay, and then we'll say, where's my Steam Engine Mark 1s? They are right here. Why do I always have such a hard time finding things? 1, 2, 3. That should make 20. Oh, did I have 40 there? Maybe I had 40. I still have 20 steam engines, Steam Engine Mark 2s. Okay, so maybe we do that a little bit more. Whatever. Oh, those are the wrong ones? Maybe I was crafting the wrong things. Oops. Okay, whatever. Let's put down the Mark 2s. It's going to take them a while to craft. There we go. Yes, yes. How hot is the temperature? It's up to 240-ish, 235. And these guys require maximum temperature 275. So that's their max, but maybe we don't have to actually hit their max because these boilers won't do that, I don't think. Steam Engine Mark II. So these guys have a an output that is half of these, right? 5.1, 2.1. Oh, it's not. It's no longer 1 to 2. If these guys... Oh, but they have a 60% energy efficiency. Oh, I'm going to have to break out the spreadsheet for this. Okay, 60% of 5.1 definitely does not equals 2.1. It's more like 3.1. Well, the power is now 100% on all the time. It has not crashed. I don't think it's going to any time soon. Now that we're upgrading everything, next thing to do is Algae Farm Mark II, which is I just researched. That's a coincidence. We can also make soon, let's see. One of the things that's taking up a ton of power in the base is the electrolyzers. So I can make electrolyzer 2s already. That got researched while I was researching something else. And to make those, I need clay bricks. And I'm pretty sure that's from washing. And that one's a simple one. Yeah, it's going to be super quick. So let's do that. I've started increasing the production again. So I added 2 more crystallizers and 1 more of the filtration units. Now what we can do, I'm going to get rid of a third of our algae farms. And we're going to replace those, the ones that are still here, with Algae Farm Mark II. So where are those made? Probably in the the one that has a giant algae farm in the icon. So we want to make these. How many have in my inventory? 3? Everything else I think I already have. Oh, I'm going to need more of these basic circuit boards, I bet. Okay, let's go grab some of those. Don't have those in a chest, do I? No, I do not. I don't need them very often, though. Oh, yes, and they're also not getting buffered. Oh, I probably want those buffered in a chest somewhere. Okay, so let's grab a chest and an inserter. And no, don't do that. You're going to screw things up. Okay, just tell it to put some in here for when I need these. I don't need these super often. So you would have put that. That's going to end up on either the left or the right. I'm not sure which. I guess it goes on the correct side. Put the extra alginic in there, and oh, thank you, washing. Okay, we'll get to washing in a bit. Pick up some of those. Start crafting these. 1. These are Algae Farm Mark 2s. Okay, start crafting those. And then where are the new ones? I cannot see them. It's like they're invisible. Here's Mark 1s. Was I not making Mark 2s? Do they look totally different? I swear, it's like they're not... Algae Farm Mark 1, Algae Farm... Oh! Dang it. What is going on here? Oh, so, okay. So I clicked on the one to the right, thinking that would be the Mark 2. For whatever reason, the Mark 2 is on the left here. And in the... Yeah, they don't need that. No wonder. I thought I had looked up the recipe, and I thought I had everything I needed. And all of a sudden, I need basic circuit boards? No. We need basic electronic boards. Okay, let me show you something. We go into this production menu. We've got boiler, boiler Mark II. Steam engine Mark II. We've got the stone furnace, we've got the steel furnace. The tiers go from left to the right. We've got the assembly machine 1, we got the assembly machine 2. So that was my assumption. Apparently that's wrong. So let's just turn all of those into normal the Mark II ones, whatever, the ones I just made, the ones I picked up. Now I should see them. There's a Mark II. Okay, so this guy, rotate him. He has a crafting speed of 1.5, but the power consumption only goes up by like 25%. So that is going to help us with our power situation quite a bit. We're only going to need... No, we want the Mark IIs. Why are those displayed to the left? Are they spelled differently or something? That's so weird. That's totally anomalous. Okay, we'll replace these. So we're going to go from 24 of these guys to 18, and we're going to do a similar thing with our electrolyzers, which will decrease our power load by quite a bit. Power is super stable, and we've got like a huge amount of available production, so we can scale up our output of metal plates and whatnot. Algae Farm Mark II. Pick up this guy. Guess now that I have some down, I can start using Q to just select them. Okay, now those guys can go. So what we'll do is, I guess we'll pick up this one and this one. We're going to leave a little gap here. Eventually, we might fill those back in as we need to scale things up again once that becomes feasible, now that we can make more power and all that kind of stuff. Well, all the algae farms have been replaced. Next step is to start upgrading the electrolyzers, which are a gigantic power drain, 300 kilowatts per. And to do that, we've got to make bricks, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But what we need to do is to send up a seafloor pump and a washing plant chain. I've looked at this in the NEI, but I haven't really... This is the first one I've built, so I don't exactly know how they work or where they go. Okay, that's kind of interesting looking. That's going to pump up some goop from the seafloor. Just automatically, it doesn't require any power like the normal pump. We got viscous mud water. And then I just made a washing plant. Okay, just going to put it here. I just want to look at it, really. Takes power. Okay, I want it separate. There we go. From this chain. Oh, by the way, another thing I did, I started making the power poles, the medium electric poles, and the big electric poles. I'll show you the map of the base and try to find, just looking at the map, try to find where I started putting in the medium power poles. Go ahead, take a guess. You see it? You probably do. Okay, I hope you do. All right, so anyway, recipes for our washing plant. What are we getting out of here? We are pumping up viscous mud water. So we got to turn viscous mud water into heavy mud water. And then I think the heavy mud water into concentrated mud water. This is silly. Well, that's what the fun is all about, right? The silliness. Concentrated mud water into light mud water. And then thin mud water into, or light mud water into thin mud water. Finally, at the end, we get thin mud water. And we just get saline water and mud. And with the mud, we can make landfill. But with these other byproducts, we can make clay and sand and stuff. And I think we also need limestone. That's all the stuff that requires to make a brick. That's going to have to wait till next time, though. That's the end of this episode. Hope you enjoy it. Everything's going swell. And we're moving along. And we'll see you next episode. Leave your comments below. And I will see you later. Bye-bye.